Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday night. We're on the Late Night Poddy. SoFlo threes us.
It's a good day.
Yes, sir. We have a great show for you tonight. Joining us shortly, Youssef Abdul-Ali, founder of the Bitcoin Classic, joins the poddy soon. We're excited to have him on set. Well, is this a set?
I would say you're more in a gallery and not a set. Yeah, you're looking unprofessional, but it's okay. This is the
Really?
potty. Anything goes.
Really?
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Man, appreciate you taking the time. Late night. I know it's late and you got a busy schedule, but super fortunate. Shout out to Ray and Gotham Hoops. Like I said, man, we're really appreciative of you jumping on. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff tonight. Tell us about your playing career, man. So your high school days, your college days, and and how that was up in Springfield.
I was in Springfield for forever. You know what I mean? So that's the hometown, home state. So I always tell this story, man. I had the worst high school career possible. So I went to a small charter school, and I started that school in 7th grade. So we were the first class of that school. So it was that 7th grade year, and every year we would move up: 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th
That's
grade.
pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, but if you think about it for the basketball side, so once we got to high school, we had a team full of 9th graders. So skill-wise, I was able to play, varsity kids from Springfield. But there, I was playing freshman because I was going up with that school, so we didn't have enough players enough. So did that for 2 years. Then I was going to transfer out, and then the school kind of was like, "No, we're going to have a full schedule." So my junior year, we ended up getting like 12 games, and they were against like bad comp. So again, no footage, no nothing. You know what I mean? I'm still.
Yeah.
So my senior year, we finally get a full schedule, and we make it all the way to states. We lose in the championship game in states. So again, just not having knowledge, not having nobody there that's kind of been through it, knowing that you should have probably went prep. You should have probably played for a different team. If you're gonna do that, you should go play with the higher AAU team. So, but I had a good time. Had some good friends that I met, and then from there, I ended up at Bentley College, Division II. So I got a scholarship to Bentley. My coach that kind of came on to the school I went to as a senior, he played at Bryant. So once my senior year was up, he's like, "Yo, you got to get a scholarship." Like, he's like, "You're a scholarship player." So he started just bringing me to these schools: Merrimack, Bryant, Stonehill, like all these Division II schools. Like, I was just going to these schools and playing pickup. My second time I went to Bentley, played with their players, and then the coach brought me upstairs and offered me a scholarship, like right in the spot. So that's kind of how I got my scholarship, which is like, it's kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of ridiculous how it happened.
Man, that's
diamond in the rough.
Yeah, for real.
Who were some of the notable players in your class coming out of high school?
This is where you guys are gonna be like, "Yo, you made a bad move." So when I was at AAU, I was playing for a local team. It was called Shack Attack, and I'm not sure if you guys know it. TJ Gassinola, he ran New England Players back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
You probably remember New England Players, right?
Yeah, I played against Cal Anderson was on it.
Yeah. So when he was first starting, he had a squad. He had J.R. Smith, Tone Anderson, who went to Memphis. He had Jamal Warren, who went to Cincinnati, loaded. So I could have hopped on with them and played as a sophomore. And I was just like, you know what? I didn't do it because all my friends were playing on the local team, so I stayed with them, again, not knowing. But that was like kind of that who I could have been playing with, teams going to see them, and then they see me, and it's like, oh, who's this kid? Big Baby Davis. When we went down to Nationals, we played them. We played Al Jefferson, who played for the Celtics. Sean Singletary, he went to Virginia. He was nice. Y'all went to the 5 Stars when it was what was it, Pennsylvania?
Bro,
outdoors.
I actually never went to 5 Star. I did I did a lot of hoop group, and I got about 30 scholarships from hoop group camp.
Damn.
So I always stay faithful to them, and I always went to their camps. I didn't go to any camps.
Yeah.
See, when I was coming, I don't know if hoop group was hoop group. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was as.
No, I don't think it was either.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, what a blessing, man! I got to play with Larry Brown for about a year and a half. out there. So I got to meet Allen Iverson. I got to play with the guys at the Dallas Mavericks. I got to hoop with Deron Williams. He was a little out of shape at the time. I think he was coming back from an injury or something along those lines. So
Deron Williams played his whole career out of shape, it looks like.
I know. What position were you?
In college, I was mainly a shooting guard, a little bit undersized at 6'2".
So you guarded Darren Williams.
Yeah, the Dallas Mavericks players would come down because Larry Brown, he would just bring the guys and we would play pickup against Dallas Mavericks guys, G League guys all the time. And so, man, I got so much better out there, and I realized how much better I got when I transferred to Hofstra. I realized then how much I learned and how much better I got just playing with Larry Brown and just playing against those pros, and you don't really realize it when you're doing it.
That's crazy. That's what's up, man. And any memories on those pickups? Like any moves you catch somebody with Darren Williams or something? That's kind of crazy.
So when I was at SMU, I was a straight just shooter, and that whole year, I was so Coach Brown actually pushed me a lot. Like he really he saw a lot in me just because I was outworking everybody. But I was a one-dimensional player. I could just shoot it, and then that year I really developed. And when I got to Hofstra, is kind of when it flourished.
Yeah, scored 1,000 in 3 years over at Hofstra. He's a little humble, but I kind of
I see it.
Also, before we move on, you kind of mentioned the prep route growing up, coming out of high school, and then you fast forward to 2023, and you see transfer portals, as even Ray was mentioning on an earlier episode, transfer portals going crazy. Prep schools blossoming and forming out of nowhere. AAU culture versus high school culture. What do you think about that? You know, kind of where it is today.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy now, man. So I coached at a prep school here, and I stopped coaching. My daughter's 6 years old.
Oh, God bless.
She's 6. Thank you. My daughter's 6, and when the kids that graduated from my school, my daughter was probably 3 months old. They're still in college. You know what I mean? They're just now graduating because of the COVID year. They got the extra year because of COVID year. So it's like, I made a joke the other day. I said, yo, you guys should be adjunct professors right now. Like, it's not even like, you know what I mean? It's not even, I got my master's. It's like, yo, I'm a professor here and I'm still playing ball.
They probably have 2 master's degrees, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy how long these kids. So it's, you know, for the kids coming out, man, it's been tough. You know what I mean? It's been tough for them just to kind of find a spot. And then you got the transfers, and then you got the JUCO. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I talked to a couple coaches, and they said they don't even, you know, their first thing is transfers, then it's JUCO, then it's, you know, high school kids now. It's tough, man. It's tough. And then you got OTE, who's kind of changing the landscape a little bit even more with offering those top guys. So yeah, I just think it's tougher and tougher for high school kids, man. You know, and prep school kids.
Yeah, some of those guys are making $1 million at OTE, right?
Yeah, no, those guys are making ridiculous money. There was a football guy. Who I think he turned down. He asked for more money from the school he was going to. He was already had an NIL deal for like $13 or $14 million.
Wow.
And then he asked for more, I believe. And then they backed out, and then he didn't get another deal from another school. So now he went from 13 mil to 0. You know what I mean? So it's going to be crazy with the basketball side too.
Yeah. So what's like some of your advice for kids listening? You never know who listens to anything online, but so your advice for young hoopers, maybe under recruited, maybe, you know, navigating the AAU circuits and stuff, something that you just mentioned with money now as a young kid, and social media too.
I think for kids, it's different levels. Like there's obviously the 5 stars. That's completely different. Like when you're talking about them, you know, they got multiple schools that's offering them. You know, that's like just get with your close inner circle and decide what's best for you. But then when you got like guys like you know, kind of like myself, those fringe D1, you know, low mids, D2. Got to do an extra year at prep school. It's just to have everything in order early. So like if you're a sophomore now, start talking to your mother about, hey, we need to start keeping a file of my transcripts, my highlights, my this, my that, like all
Sure.
your
Being
resume.
organized.
Like keep your resume, like have a folder for it. It's so easy now with phones and everything and all the software that they have out here. It's so easy to kind of have a resume, where it was when I was coming up, it was like, I had to get the VHS tape. You know what I'm saying?
Legend.
I had to rewind just to go back and watch my game to see what I did. Now you can just get it clipped. But no, I say just be organized and have everything in order. So it's like you can start blasting it out early, blast it out, either the prep schools or colleges once you get to like that junior year. But I think just be aggressive with it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're kind of sitting back and waiting for somebody to come to you. I feel like a lot of high school kids do that, where it's like you got to be aggressive with it, man. You have to. It's like you're selling yourself just as much as they're recruiting you.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice. I got a niece actually that's going through it right now. She's at prep school.
Nice.
And we were supposed to have a visit tomorrow, and same thing. You know what I mean? I'm telling her, like, you have to get your clearinghouse situated, talk to your guidance counselor. She waited till last minute today, and they couldn't get it turned around. So now she has to bump that visit. She can't go to that visit tomorrow. So it's just little things that, you got to preach to these kids, like, constantly. And sometimes it sucks because you want to, you want them to be a little more mature and responsible, like even with my niece. But then it's like sometimes it just comes down to the parents too. So parents, players, just kind of communicate and figure out the best way you can how to get organized and get your footage, your transcripts, your SAT, the clearinghouse, everything in order early on. So that would be, the advice that I would give.
I think it was Steve Kerr that said it. I looked at a quote he was saying on Twitter, and he was saying kids are playing so much games nowadays in AAU, and they're so focused on the recruitment and all the getting highlight tapes and all this, that they're forgetting that the most important thing is to win the game, and do the little things that need to be done in order to win the game. A main thing that these kids should focus on, that you can have 8 to 10 points in a game, but you do the little things to win that game, and these recruiters are going to see that, because I think that's the main thing that they're looking for.
I was somebody who averaged 7 points a game,
Yeah.
but maybe 7 assists, maybe 7 rebounds, maybe a couple steals. Like I didn't really care about any of that, and I always knew I had a role at a especially if I wanted to be a higher level player. And then playing with guys like Brian, it unlocked another level of me that humbled me first, but then really taught me there's so much more to the game. You don't even have to have the basketball in your hands, man. And I feel like we can go on for hours about the game style, like the style of play, the gameplay itself in 2023. We see it as coaches probably. I mean, you see it just in the mentality of a kid transition, looking for a shot first. I mean, listen, Brian was allowed to do that. Me, not allowed to do that. So it's so interesting to me to note these differences, but and someone like you to have in their corner is especially helpful. We do have Yusuf Abdul-Ali on the poddy here, the founder of the TheBitcoinClassic. So tell us a little bit, how did the tournament come about?
In like 2019, my brother-in-law, he reached out. He's like, and he's always been like a finance guy, kind of like one of those guys where it's like, yo, do your own research. Like, do your own research. I'm not telling you what stocks to get, like, because they might crash. Like, I'm not doing that for you. I get a random text from him like, hey, yo, if any, money that you can afford to lose, like, he's like, put it in Bitcoin. So me, I'm like, all right, he would never do this. So I'm like, all right. So I went and did a week's worth of research, just trying to learn everything I can about Bitcoin, who created it, who, what's it used for?
Oh man,
what is it? Yeah, just like, it went down a crazy rabbit hole. I like the idea that, it's yours, you can control it. You don't have to go to anybody to send it. You can send it however much you want. I like that idea of it. And then, I like the digital aspect of it. Like, it's online. Like, everything's already digital now. I can see it becoming like playing a bigger role in this whole internet and digital world. And then the whole thing is like the global aspect of it. Like, I can send money from here to, Bitcoin from here to Africa and not have to go through or fill any paperwork or do anything. You know what I mean? So I invested in 2019, but it went crazy, skyrocketed up. And then after that, it was just like, even before that, I like even when it was like around like 30, I'm just like, oh, I really this is a good investment for me. So then I'm like, all right, how can I start getting other people just interested in it? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how can I get them interested in it? I mean, as a coach, it's like, I'm sure you guys know, it's like if something is good for you or if something does is you believe in, you want to give that assist. Like, yo,
Yeah.
let me pass to my boy, let me pass to my family, let me throw a tournament and then pay the winners in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So that was the first one. Like the name, the idea, the website. The month later, I already had 4 teams. I had, you know what I mean? It was so quick the turnaround because the connections I had. And then I did it, and it was just like, all right, yo, this is pretty dope. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope. And then we're actually teaching people about Bitcoin and paying them in Bitcoin. So it's like, once they get it, they can do whatever they want with it. You know what I mean? But we're giving it to them in Bitcoin. So it's gonna obviously,
Yes, sir.
open their mind a little bit about it. Did one in Miami, a big one in Miami at the Bitcoin conference. So that's kind of where we're at now, and it's like just kind of put those on and keep going with it.
Yeah, now that was a great time to start it, because that was
Yeah.
when everything was, going crazy with it. It was going up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was reading some articles, I heard about the basketball side of it, but I was interested to see if there was like a learning side to it where you're
Mm-hmm.
teaching kids how to do use a soft wallet and use a hard wallet, and how to transfer Bitcoin from one wallet to the next. So I was curious to see if you guys are doing that as well.
Yeah. So before the tournament, we have an info session, and we invite everybody. It's open to everyone, and we kind of go over those things. So we go over all of that. We go over the basics of it, basics of blockchain, and then I partnered with Cash App. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So shout
Yeah,
out to them. That's kind of crazy that Cash App is even a part of this, bro, because it's like
Wow.
2 years and then they hopped on and then but anyway, but I feel like that's like the most easiest way because everybody already has Cash App, really.
Cool to have collaboration between big brands, making it simple, making them aware, though. It's really the awareness too. And you guys are the first basketball tournament to pay in Bitcoin?
Yeah. Yep.
wow,
Yep. First basketball tournament, man. So it's kind of dope, kind of changing things. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. We try to do it like TBT, really. So that's kind of where the vision is. Like I one day in maybe 2-3 years, I want to have my champion versus their champion. And then we put up Bitcoin versus money. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm headed. I'm hoping I can, now that I got Cash App on board, I'm hoping that we can have enough pot. Like they're still doing $1 million, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're doing $1 million.
Hey,
My pots are only like 25, 30,000. So once I raise it up, I'm like, hey, your winner versus my winner.
You heard it here.
Versus money.
Listen, I'm
Bitcoin versus money.
Talk to him.
Listen, I've been staying in shape, so let me
Yeah,
know.
there we go.
Let me be the first person that you hit up.
I was like, I got to get something iconic. You know what I mean? I got to do it at an iconic spot. So I knew I wanted to do New York, and then I reached out to the Rucker team, and they were on board. They loved the idea for their community. So then we just ran with it, man, and it was pretty dope. I think people are surprised the talent level of the player that plays in this. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of overseas guys. Like we had over 40 or 50 overseas guys playing it between 8 teams. Yeah, between 8 teams. So it's like super competitive. And then it's kind of crazy because people are like, what is this Bitcoin class? And they come and they see like a legit tournament. Of course, it's at the Rucker. So we had like a Harlem rapper come perform.
Oh, nice.
We had dancers. We had like in between. So it was like a real vibe, really dope setting, and try to make it more than just basketball. Try to make it an actual like event.
I know Jay-Z has a Bitcoin school in New York, so you never know. Like that might be something you come across.
Yeah. So the guy who ran Bitcoin Academy at Marcy, it was in Marcy Projects where he's from.
Yep.
His name is Lamar Wilson. So he actually spoke at the Bitcoin Classic in Rucker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us how the 2023 looks for you. Are you staying in New York, Miami, and Boston? Are you expanding to other cities? If you need a coach, I'll be there. But if you need a player, Brian might be there.
Greg's getting in the treadmill too. Come on, Greg.
You know shooters, man. Everybody needs a shooter.
Plan on being in other cities? Are you focusing on the 3 cities?
Yeah, so I want to hit like I'm trying to hit like every state. I actually had somebody from Ghana reach out to me.
Wow.
Yeah, Ghana reached out to me, so that's in the works. But I think for 2023, we're going to Atlanta, man. I haven't even announced it yet. I haven't to announce it
yeah,
yet.
baby.
Yeah. But we're gonna go to the A. So we keep it open to everyone. As long as you pay your entry, you're good. A lot of community engagement, trying to get everybody out. A lot of kids. So the one thing that I'm doing different this year is I'm doing a lot of kids events, challenges, kids 3-point contest because it's an adult tournament. So I'm trying to do other things to get kids in there. So that's the plan, man. And just behind the scenes, pulling it off.
It's good. Like you said, you're getting overseas players, professional players in there, and you never know, like they could, help one of those kids out and maybe have a long-term connection right there.
I need that. That's love. Appreciate that.
Man, Yusuf Abdul-Ali joined the potty tonight and spoke a lot about hoops, about what's to come in 2023.
That was a great conversation, bro. I'm glad we had a chance to meet. Like Greg said,
sure.
Pleasure.
Any opportunity, any help you need, we're here. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, appreciate it, fellas.
Yo, look for the Bitcoin Classic coming down south. Look for Yusuf Ali, man. A lot of great stuff coming. Shout out to you, Yo, appreciate you again joining on.
Can you get up my face? I'm on the potty.
Where the party at? Where the party at? Where the party at? You know I can't forget to wash my hands.
Action.